Hey guys, how we doing? Let's play some chess. Come on in. It's searching. And we've got a 1464. Of course I'm playing e4. I want to win the game, and we've got a Sicilian. Okay. We'll go Smith-Morra, because it's what I've been playing recently. And it's probably what I know best. Okay, this is interesting. Declined with knight c6. So this puts two attackers on d4. It's defended once. I could defend it a second time, and I think that's what I'm going to do. Giving black a second bite of the cherry. And potentially then getting into a very normal Smith-Morra. It's also tempting to push d5, but I don't know what I'm doing there at all. But it is a general principle that if your opponent develops a knight into the path of an oncoming central pawn, you should nearly always just kick it. Grab a little bit of space, grab the extra tempo. Okay, so he's preventing d5 here. Well, he isn't actually preventing it. Bishop c4 now. Bishop c4 takes... We could still get into a Morra. Bishop c4 d5 takes, and I have to retreat because I can't take the pawn because queen will take my bishop. I could play like a quiet bishop e2, probably not bishop d3 because that removes the defender. Here and he does this. Takes. I retreat. I think it's worth developing the bishop. We're in the opening phase of the game. I should be developing. That's my primary objective here. Okay. This, I guess c4. Yeah, I didn't really think that through very carefully, did I? No, I didn't think that through at all, Precious, no. Got a check. Very easy to block though. I think bishop e6 looks very nice. I need to move my bishop, so I haven't gained anything, and black actually has quite good central control here. If he bothers me, I'm just going to exchange and get castled. Black is at least a little way off castling. And I do have two pieces developed. So I maybe arguably still have the first mover advantage, although he has these two central pawns. Well, this is forced now, knight c3. I didn't see that, and I really should. Okay. Okay, this isn't too bad, because I can take this knight. This knight is the defender of this pawn. I could also actually take with my knight here. So let's consider both. I feel like I've been a bit gung-ho so far. Takes with check, pawn takes back. Then I can take here with knight or queen. I can take here with knight or queen now because this knight is in an absolute pin. And queen can't take bishop because knight takes queen. So knight takes here. What's the threat? He played that move very quickly actually. So I recapture the pawn, let's say with the knight. This knight can't move. So I'm threatening to take twice and then fork king and rook. Take here hits the queen as well. So, but what about queen takes? And queen takes is a developing move, and as we've already said, we are supposed to be developing. Is this more of a threat though? I'm attacking the knight, but I think he'll just do that. So let's take with the queen because it is a developing move. If he does this, I have to take the knight. Then probably bishop takes or b takes. But look, I am now ready to castle. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces out on the board. Black, on the other hand, is completely undeveloped on the king side. Oh. Well, this is defended twice. I mean, I also have check here, check here. Bishop can block the check, so can the G knight. So not much in that for me. I have bishop d2. I can also take the knight. He is threatening this knight, which is the only defender of this bishop. So I think what I'm going to do first, I'm going to start by taking here, weakening his pawns to some degree. I could throw in a check, but he's got bishop e6 or knight e7. So I mean, this is perfectly playable. I think attacking. I think I'll just take here. I could actually castle, but I can't. I actually, if I let him take, if I castle, he takes, pawn takes. What we're getting is a lot of activity in return for messed up pawns here. And removing, I'm going to do it. Sod it, I'm going to do it. I'm going to let him do this if he wants to do it that badly. Because now I have threats of rook e1 check. And I'm aiming to embarrass black for his lack of development here. I've got a check here, and now the knight can't come to e7. So check here, or even check with a rook, right? Also, this knight is no longer pinned. It should be noted. This is nice, but that is 100% he's going to block with one of these bishops, right? Or potentially even, no, that doesn't work. Takes, takes, takes. This. Why not? Why not there? Takes. There's no other major threats. And now I'm threatening to mess up his pawns real good. And really, so he can't afford to castle now on the next turn. That's the material point, because I've taken G takes. And then it's like the same kind of pawn structure as we would have over here, but the big difference is being my king is safely castled and his ain't. Hey Sasha. My wolf is filthy and wet. Okay, there we go. Bishop now blocks. Okay. Okay. And again, the story is activity. So now, rook, let's say rook fe1, hits the bishop. The king still can't castle because the king's the only defender of the bishop. Right? I think that is compulsory. Right, he blocks again. Is it now knight e5 threatening this pawn? Knight e5, what if he just pushes? That's a well-defended square, isn't it? Drop the bishop back. More threats against the queen. Here, there. Okay. His pawns are still okay. I'd love to prevent him from castling if I can. I don't know if there's a way to do it right now. Here, I'm just threatening to win a pawn outright and actually mess up this. No, I don't, because the bishop won't be there anymore, will it? There. Queen has to move. But again, it's another threat, isn't it, that might prevent him from castling. My concern is c5, in which case I can't drop that there because he's got... Oh, okay. If I take, you take queen, I take queen, you take my knight, I take your bishop. Do I win a pawn that way? I take their knight just takes. So do I go here? I'd like to harass this pawn. Can't really sack the queen. Can I sack the rook? Pawn check. I'm finding myself considering weirder moves these days. Queen a4. Material is actually equal. Queen a4, I'm threatening the queen, I'm threatening that, okay? Queen a4 takes, knight takes, I hit the bishop. Let's do it. He can't drop back there because his bishop's now pinned, right? I might even apply pressure to this bishop. Okay, right. He's counter-attacking here. But then that would drop this, which would be unpleasant. So he can't take there. So if I take that, it's a fork on king and bishop. So I'm not worried. What I think I'm going to do is now play my knight in... Oh, no, hang on. Bishop takes f2. That is annoying. I can defend with my knight here. It's a very ugly move. So I'm thinking, is it this? He's got that. No, he doesn't. Bishop's still pinned. Okay, I might even double up here with the idea of sacking one exchange to get bishop and a pawn, so it's not too bad. But mucho pressure, mucho grande pressure. Still this, okay, now he castles, right. Okay. Queen's still the only defender of this. I have rook b1, I have rook a e1, which I kind of like. I have knight e5, adding more pressure to this pawn, definitely improving the knight as well. So I'm drawn to that as a candidate move. Let's say knight here, queen takes, I take. Oh, my rook hangs. Yeah, not good. I think he maybe b3 then. Because I think this rook clearly wants to double up with its buddy here. Or, but then rook e1 takes, my knight's safe. Go on. Again, forward, always forward. I know I'm hanging this pawn, but I would get this one. Attacks the bishop. Triple action now on there. Do I have this? Walks into a pawn fork, but it's not really because I have takes. Hang on. There. Pawn fork. I take, and it's well defended. Knight takes me. Again, there is knight d1, which ain't pretty. Here, knight takes, pawn takes. I don't really want to give up my bishop though. Got rook f1. Three defenders, three attackers. I think rook f1 is the least ugly response to this. My opponent's finding some good counterplay though. That doesn't work. b3. Oh, I missed taking out the bishop and then having the knight, but it still might be on next turn. Oh, how did I miss that? Rook for 2 minors. Gives him a strong centre though, and big pressure on f2 actually, after it unleashes this rook. There leaves us with only 2 defenders on there and 3 attackers, right? Against this square. It's a good bishop, this one. Could just kick the knight out. So he does have this. There, I'm not obliged to take, but I would. Again, 2 minor pieces for a knight and a pawn is a good deal for me, because I'm taking 2 of his pieces. I've only lost 1 piece. Gives me more flexibility later on. Also, doubling up my rooks on... Oh no, because I'd have lost the rook, wouldn't I? Apologies if the tumble dryer in the background is coming through on the mic. Okay, Soda Zing, 1464. That leaves 3 attackers. Then he takes, queen takes, and that's horrible. So I don't think it's playable at this point. If he was to move his rook off the f-file, his rook's actually quite good for that reason. Takes, rook takes, queen takes, only 2 attackers. I'm doing it. So, as if by magic. Right, and then it's going to be a case of bishop on c3, putting pressure on. Maybe prompt g6. Now, however he takes, it's going to be queen takes knight, right? And I realise his pawn still hangs. But that is not my priority right now. Actually, I also have bishop h6. If queen is on here, queen might come here. Wow. Wowzers. Wowzers. If rook takes, he's got rook g6. Maybe. And my queen has to vacate the premises. That rook is abusable. What an interesting game. Getting interesting games at the moment, which I'm happy about. I don't think I can play rook fe1 because of all the pressure here. Does he have? Is he thinking about this actually? Bishop takes with check. If rook takes, queen takes. King moves. There isn't any checkmate because my knight can block. Didn't think that through, did I? I'm also threatening here, but he's likely going to take the rook. See, if he takes and doesn't give check, I can play this. Yeah, I kind of snatched at that a bit, but I did take 2 minutes. No, I didn't. I took 14 seconds. He took 2 minutes on his previous move. Is he thinking about this? He's got the triple pressure, right? Knight takes, I can't move. I can't play king h1 because I've been check. Knight takes, I trade the rooks. and I'm actually up a piece. If bishop takes, I do have king h1. And then he'll recapture the rook. Bishop takes king h1, takes rook, I take knight though. And I think that's equal material at that point. So definitely a bit of a focus now on kind of forward front foot play. But there's a right way and a wrong way to do that. There's a lot of moving parts here, aren't there? Knight there. I could even do that and hit the queen. He could move the knight with a double check. But I've saved my rook. Bishop takes, king h1 is pretty much forced. I mean, I could take with a rook. Bishop takes, queen takes. With check, that's forced. Queen can't go there, can't go there. I don't know. I'm kind of reaching the limit of my calculation, but it feels like it's not losing. Bishop takes, and he's done it. That's exactly what we said. Okay. So there's only two options here. This loses another exchange. This gets out of trouble. I think it's going to be king h1, but takes, king h1, queen there, knight blocks. I just don't like it. I don't like it at all. Right, so this is the knight could be moved on. I'd love to play that, but I don't think I'm going to get the chance to do it. There's no check from the knight. So there's no checks. Now he's going to recapture the rook, but then I get the knight, and then the bishop's defended only by the queen, so he still can't capture on b2. Or can he? There, there, there. Can I capture the rook without getting back ranked? Because the queen can't go there and can't go there. She can go here, right? So let's say takes. I've always got knight g1. So this is what we're thinking. Takes being the next in the sequence. Maybe this knight comes around. No bishop pair now to contend with. Possibilities of bishop e3. Definitely possibility of h3. Although, you know, he still has a dark squared bishop, but so do I. Okay, he takes. Right, I am doing it. That was another 1.5 minute think from black. Very involved, this. Material is equal, but I have more pieces. I only have one rook, but I have 3 minors. My opponent has no knights. So that's basically the difference. In return for a rook, I have 2 knights, which hopefully will be able to work together. Now, this doesn't work because even if you give check with queen a1, I have that. Okay. Well, I'm not quite sure where you're going with this because you can't go there. No, don't know. I don't get it. I'm just going to play b3 quickly, just to you know, remove the temptation. I don't see, because I've got minor piece control over all of these squares here, and that one. So the doubled rooks might look good on paper, but in practicality, I'm not so sure. I think my bishop wants to come out. I could even actually fianchetto it. That might be a thought. The idea of targeting there and then using the knight as a weapon. There's some kind of double threat. Like takes, hitting the queen and threatening checkmate. This might be a plan for him. Now I'm actually ahead on the clock. He's down to 5 minutes. Is Soda Zing. I'm on 6:06. Knight A4 hits the queen. Can't go there because the bishop guards. But remember, the queen still has to protect the bishop, so she can't go there. Hang on. Here. Okay, H6. I'm not sure. But knight here, right? Queen can't go there. And can't go there. Well, I mean, maybe, but no, then I take... Hang on. Knight here. Queen here. No, she can't. Right, I'm playing it. Playing it quickly. So look at this, right? It's the fact that this bishop is embedded in my territory. And it is defended, but, you know, can the defender be moved on? And the queen has to stay on this diagonal. My bishop guards this, my knight guards this. This knight guards both of these squares. What's she going to do? And still, I'm not worried about rook e1 check. If the queen moves away, okay, that's a counter-attack. Okay, now I have this, though. But I should consider what happens if takes. I like this because it's an immediate threat. So that's what I'm playing. 4 minutes 20. I'm on 5.5. Tick tock. The clock matters here. Right, I'm threatening the rook. He can't counter threaten my queen because there's no safe square. Okay. Plus, I'm attacking his queen. I'm attacking his bishop. I'm attacking his rook. What? It's so exciting, this game. How am I not bored? How am I not bored of this game? It just gets better and better. I don't, but the game does. My enjoyment of it. This is a Tarantino position now. Any of you pricks move, I'll execute every last one of you. No, I just take it with a minor piece probably. I mean, that is dangerous. I block with a knight as checkmate, right? But still. 3 minutes. Tic-tacs. It's all about the tic-tacs. Always tic-tacs. He's under 3 minutes now. I don't know if this is good chess, but it's fun. We are going to find out. See, a lot of people wouldn't consider a move like knight a4 because you've learned knight on the rim is dim or grim. However, tactical considerations always trump principle. Always. Let's say concrete concrete considerations. Okay. So his idea is queen takes rook, check. Knight blocks, queen takes mate. But I have a check here already, right? So I have that for free. There's no issue there. But now can't I just take the bishop because the queen can't come to either of these squares, yes? Queen can't come to f1 if the rook ain't there. And I'm plus 8 materials. So my queen's just going to come back here, defend the farm, you know? That I think is now resignable. I don't think what black has got... Black has any counterplay. And I think it all started with this move. At knight a4 hitting the queen, threatening to remove the defender. Really important tactic, removing the defender. And there's so many different ways of doing it. Sometimes called deflection. Okay. I mean, I could even sack the queen at this point. Hang on. There. Doesn't work. Right? So I could simply take here, threaten to come here. And I'm threatening the rook. Rook here. Doesn't work. 2 minutes now. This wins. No, it doesn't win material. He's got rook g6. Okay. Interesting. If I take and queen takes, my knight is defended, my bishop is not. My queen, let's say queen comes down here. I take queen takes. I always, again, always have knight g1. But let's throw in a check just for giggles. I also have rook f1. I'd love to move my knight to unleash the attacking potential of that rook. So let us calculate this. There, queen takes. What about just knight g1 now? Oh no, that hangs the bishop, but knight g1, if you take my bishop, I have check here. There. Just rook f1. Just rook f1. Then move the knight. He takes bishop, I take back, and the queen, yeah. The queen and the knight both defend the rook against his queen. Gotta be careful not to hang my queen. I did it in yesterday's game, as many people spotted. I'm sure everybody who was watching the video was going. And I was in a queen against two rooks situation, but hey, I dodged a bullet, I prevailed. I'm considering this even, just to remove, because you know we could end up in a kind of perpetual here. It's possible. I could also think about bringing my knight in with tempo, so that's one free turn. Minute 15 now for Sicilian. He has scrambled a defence, or scrambled an attack, really. I was thinking about this as well yesterday. It's like, when your opponent is weak, it's the right time to attack. But also, I was thinking, because I've had quite a few like blitz games recently where I've been down in material, I've sacrificed some shit, and my opponent seems to be turning the screw, I counter-attack. And he's resigned. Wow! Wow! Well, it was a good game, so to sing. Well done. Well done. And +8 here. Yeah. But thinking that also, not only when your opponent is weak, it's time to attack. When you're weak, it's also a good time to attack. Okay, let's review. Let's have a look. What do we got? Probably accuracy in the 70s, not quite. But I'd had a brilliant move. Oh, and a bad miss here. Okay, but the opening looked respectable. Okay, the computer wanted me to push d5. And it's a whole pawn difference. Yeah, I probably should, you know. Look, that is a principle, okay? But I wanted to get into a Morra. And he could have punished me. But if he'd have done that, I'd have done this. And yes, it's technically an open, but this is now a Smith-Morra. Accepted, okay? Okay, so he could have punished me back. e6 is not great. And that's a miss. Should still have played d5. But again, I wanted to develop. I wanted activity. And yeah, d5 is good. And we are now equal. That's not fantastic. Great move. Had to be played. I mean, it's to be frank. I missed the. And you always be aware of it, right? When the d pawn moves. This. How many times have I fallen for this as a sucker? Okay, so play. Oh. Queen e2 check was best here. Bishop e7. And then I take on d4. What? Oh. So it's saying queen here, there, and knight takes here. Still exploiting the pin. Yes, that is a pleasant position, isn't it? Need to get better at that. Okay. So that was... Oh, and this is actually a blunder. Okay, that was a great move. But in a minute, I'm going to screw up. Queen takes g7. Didn't even see it. Did not even see it. Also, notice my queen still defends the knight. Ah! Bugger. See, I was blinkered, right? I was looking at one part of the... I just didn't even cast my gaze over to that side. He's brought his bishop out. My queen is on the long diagonal. The rook is helpless. Yeah? Queen takes here. Even if he takes, I'd take with the pawn. Yeah, take with the pawn. And the rook's still in trouble. Queen can't take here because my queen defends. Numpty. But this is the game of chess, boys and girls. Okay. So I'm slightly better at this point in time. Knight f6 is alright. Bishop g5, developing move. Okay, and coming with a threat. So this is when I'm trying to land blows on black. Okay, great move. That's good. Queen e5, better. Okay, another great move from him. That was not great. Okay. And that is a mistake. So is that. Okay, this is key. Knight a4 with counterattack on queen. You take, I take. Bishop hangs, bishop's pinned. But then he comes back here, it's saying, and it's pretty much equal. Okay, so it didn't like that. Even position. Queen b6 is best here. Now it says queen h4, going all the way to the other side of the board. That is not what I play. I look at doubling up my rooks. I proceed with my plan of doubling up the rook. Stockfish thinks I'm a fool. So what's the situation here is we're in this middle ground, right? There's my line, there's my line, okay. Doesn't like this, but I do have a brilliancy coming up. Knight comes in. Could have captured a free pawn, so queen takes b2. Rook f1 is good. Okay, I mean, we really had to think here. Okay, yeah, oh, the other thing about this is it defends b2. And it's funny because I had a game in a lesson yesterday where bringing the knight all the way back to the back rank to defend a pawn was also the move that we played. It wasn't actually the computer's top move though. Okay, so he does this. And that is a brilliant. That's my brilliant. Now, opponent now counters quite well. He doubles his rooks. B3. Not best. It's talking about defending a pawn, but you know, in reality, it's the deflection tactic. Yeah, I didn't spot it there, but I did spot it here, and that's why that move was a blunder, because this is now on. And 1350 for me, and 900 for him. How very dare you, fish? That's good. Yeah, 0.6 of a pawn, forget. I mean, the reason I like this is more psychological, right? And you've got to bear in mind that my opponent's got 4.5 minutes left on his clock, right? So the psychology comes into play. Stockfish doesn't even know what psychology is. There's no concept of it, and that's a mistake. Obviously, it just loses the rook, because I calculated that I was fine. He has to move the king, and now I can take. And the rest, as they say, is history. But that was a hoot and a holler. That was a barrel of fun. And I don't care what Stockfish thinks. At all. Because it's a game and you're supposed to enjoy yourself. Stockfish also has no concept of of fun either. Because it's just a stupid machine. Okay? But it is useful. It's a tool. Right? And the tool is there to help us to enjoy chess more, because if we're not enjoying it, what's the bloody point? Yeah? I've just enjoyed myself. 1350, okay, bit rude, but opponent played apparently quite bad. And yeah, no, credit to Soda Singh. He scrambled well, but you saw where the mistakes were, right? And the big issue was the Queen's defense of the bishop. Right, the deep bishop. He thought it was being, aggressive and attacking, but it became a liability. Yeah, which fortunately I was able to exploit. And that, my friends, is the story of the game, and that is where we shall part company for today. I'll see you tomorrow for another one. Take care.